What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay, man. We got our guy Andy here. Andy always bringing something to the intro. Fire shit, Andy. I appreciate you, man. Some of the guys, it's always cool with everybody. Some of the guys just sit there like, oh, let me just so we're
you swept. You swept yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah,
we gotta break out the brooms. You swept.
I appreciate
that, man.
And you playing it like the violin too, man, like the guitar, all that. I'm over there on the drums, on the organ, man. Listen, it's always a pleasure with you. My guy Andy from Wager Talk, man. It's good people over there at Wager Talk. Those are my guys. We partner with them. They sponsor this show, man. So I appreciate that. What's up with you, Andy? Let the people know how you've been doing over there. If you guys don't know, Andy is the prop god over there at Wager Talk, man. Obviously, we'll have some exclusive promo codes for him as well at the end of the show.
Yeah, things have been going pretty good. Been really happy with. We're kind of slowing down our plays. So first half of the season, we had a lot of plays per day. What we've been finding is success in plays of the day, like our favorite ones. So we hit a great one last night. Everyone was on the player props on the overs in the 76ers game. We cashed Tobias Harris under his PRA. So I know we were in the minority, a little bit of a bold call, but that was a great play. And that was our only play last night. So we have a play of the day that's up right now. It's a prop. Books have it massively underpriced. It's fantastic. That's at wagertalk.com. That should be on everyone's card tonight.
I like to hear that, man. It sounds like a good one. Mark, my guy in the chat, appreciate you, my brother, with that $50 tip, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know somebody cashed big off that parlay yesterday, man, but it's all business, man. Today it's a job for me. It's what I do for a living, and I got to make some money today, Andy. So let's get straight to it. It's all business here. Straight to the streets of Orlando here. You got the Magic here getting 7.5 points. You got the Wolves. They're absolutely hot right now. Right, won 6 straight games here. They do have a game on deck tomorrow versus the Heat, but the Wolves, the only way that I could look in this game, Andy, they should smack these guys up. You like what we doing with some props in this game?
Oh, you could look at Wendell Carter Jr. over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's gone over in 4 out of 5 games. He didn't get their last game against New Orleans because he didn't play in the fourth quarter. The coach got a little bit upset at them. I think those starters are going to come out pretty hyped up to at least put on a good performance, as they are the starters, and the backups got all the time in a game where they made a comeback against New Orleans. And you're looking at some potential injury situations with Minnesota, Edwards and Vanderbilt. So that leaves Towns kind of alone there defending the paint. So Carter has been really good. I would look for him over his points, rebounds, and assists tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point there. I don't know what you think, because like I said, with the Wolves having a game on deck tomorrow, I'd like to say that everybody's going to play here, but they definitely could rest a couple guys and still beat the Wolves. It's not a strong game for me, and that's a good point as well. Wendell Carter Jr. has been going bunkers on that PRA there, so that's a good look from you there, my guy. Let's go to the next game. Let's go over here to the streets of Boston. We have the Boston Celtics laying 14.5 points. They usually struggle with the Pistons here, Andy. The Pistons have also covered 9 straight games. They're getting 14.5 here. It's hard not to look towards the dog here. Do you think the Celtics just smack them up here? Do you think, or who are we looking at for some props here?
Well, there's props galore in this game. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the Celtics. You're right. 14.5 points is that is just a lot of points. No wonder the Pistons have been covering. The books are giving these 15-point head starts on these games. Sneaky one that I would look at tonight, Robert Williams over 10.5 points. This is because of the Isaiah Stewart injury. So he's out. Bagley is in. That is a pretty big advantage for Robert Williams. He's been dancing around this point total, getting like 10 and 11, but without Stewart in there, he's gonna have a pretty big advantage inside. I think he gets over this, and he's been shooting 78% from the field in the month of March. So he's getting to the rim and he's getting those high percentage looks. I also don't think this is a huge Marcus Smart scoring game. I think he distributes. Williams should be a benefactor of that. So I love this low point total at 10.5 points. I like playing these, 9, 10, 11, 12 point totals because you don't need too many baskets to get over. So look for Williams to have a big game tonight.
That's a good point there. So obviously, not a ton of size over there for the Pistons. I'm a little bit surprised that this line is set so high. I don't know. So usually when something looks too good to be true, I usually just stay off of it. So if I had a free bet on it, I'd be on the Pistons. But I'm scratching my head why the books are giving them so many points with them covering spreads, going bunkers like they. And they historically they've shown to play the Celtics really tough as well. So Pistons are nothing for me there. I'm likely staying away. Let's go over here to the streets of Atlanta real quick, man. You got the Hawks here. I'm sure this team is pissed, man. I'm talking about the refs didn't give these guys any chance in the last game. In theory, the refs should help them out a little bit more in this game. They are at the house where they play a lot better. No covenant for the Clippers. Kind of wishy-washy team up and down. I like to lean the Hawks here, but I'm not laying the points with them here, Andy. You have any look in this game? What we doing with some props here?
Hawks have just been a tough team to find a groove ATS like the whole year. It's just that, they're up, they're down. It's a roller coaster. I find them very hard to bet on. And I don't have a whole lot in this game. I was going to lean Trae Young over his assists. I think this could be a good game for him to get some others involved. But at the end of the day, I passed. I don't find any value in player props in this game. This one's a no play for me.
Yeah, this is a tough game for me, man. I appreciate you in the chat, Josh, for the $20 tip, man. People in the chat saying they lean the Hawks. I do. It's starting to get popped right now. It's up to 7. This line opened up at 6. It's hitting 7s right now and up to 7.5 at Circa and Westgate, my guys. So some money coming in on the Hawks here. I must say I agree with them. I'm not laying the points with them, but I do think that they get the job done here tonight. Like I said, the Clippers just one of those teams, man. They're so up and down. They can play really good. They could also get smacked as well. So let's go here.
Hey, Jay, real quick.
Go ahead.
Did you see Reggie Jackson? What he said? The Clippers. He said the Clippers are the heart of LA. The heart.
Hey, man, because
love the confidence.
It's confidence right there. I mean, hey, they better than the Lakers right now. So I mean, they're when it comes to that, as far as NBA, they're you know what I'm saying. They're the team in LA right now. As far as
Rams coming off a Super Bowl win might have something to say about the heart of LA argument.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, hopefully, he was just talking about NBA.
Hopefully, NBA. Yeah. Shout out to Reggie Jackson.
The Hawks is hitting up 7.5 basically at all books. So not sure what's going on there, but like I say, it's Hawks are nothing for me there. So I agree with it. Let's go over here to the streets of Houston real quick, man. They're getting 10.5, 11 points. Did see that Brunson and I believe Finney Smith as well is out here, Andy. Well, we're looking at some props here. Should want to look up Luka should be playing. I know there's no one that's going to guard him over there. It's a tough game for me, man. I'd like to say I lean the Rockets, but the Mavs coming off a terrible loss, right? And they're going to be pissed off. Who do you think goes off here for the Mavs?
The last minute injury news really took out a play that I liked in this one. But this is why you don't play some of these props until you get 100% confirmation on player injuries. So honestly, where I was going to look was Luka Doncic under 52.5 points, rebounds, and assists, just because you've got the blowout potential. He doesn't need to do a lot in order for them to beat Houston. This would have been a great game for him to get Finney Smith, to get Brunson involved. And we've done well cashing on unders on some of these huge totals. But I got to say, now that those guys are out, I can't take an under on Luka. I'm going to wait and see if Spencer Dinwiddie points, rebounds, and assists come out. But you also are looking at Tate and Christian Wood. Those are game time decisions as well for Houston. All signs point to a big Mavericks win. If you're going to play something on this one, I might look at a Rockets team total under. Dallas Mavericks has been pretty good on defense. But player props, the injuries are a little bit too much for me. So right now I have nothing involved in this one.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Appreciate you, EMDE in the chat, 4207, my guy. I appreciate you, my brother. Let's get over here to some next game. Sorry, it's just not strong spots for me. I like to talk about every game, but obviously I don't make a bet on every game. Going with the strongest spots, trying to cash, man. You dig what I'm saying? We're going over here to the streets of Memphis real quick. So we'll get some barbecue real quick, Andy. We got the Grizzlies laying 9.5 versus the Knicks. I believe last game of a 5-game, 6-game road trip. The Knicks have been on the road for a while. They have been playing. They're coming off a real nice game versus the Mavs. Now you go up against the Grizzlies team here that could smack. This one could get ugly here. The spread is high, but it's high for a reason. Do you think that the Knicks continue to play good ball here, or do you think this is a bottom out spot and they're ready to get to the house?
Well, when you're looking up the Knicks totals and you're looking up their game log, you go down to they got blown out by Philly. And the fact is they were in those games against Philly. They just blew it late in the fourth quarter. So the Knicks have been playing much more competitive than some of the results would show. And I think this is a game you can fire away on several different props. Desmond Bane was in a shooting slump. He's broke out of that. His point total is 18.5. And he's gotten 22, 24, and 25 in the last 3 games. I believe you can catch him on the rebound here. I'd play him over 18.5. And then RJ Barrett has actually gone under this 24.5 point total in 3 out of 4. I know most people would, kind of remember, oh, Barrett's just been crushing this point total. The books have caught up. And what you're seeing is Barrett kind of going like this and Randall starting to take some more shots and hit some more shots. So I think you're seeing these guys kind of cross pass. I would lean Barrett under 24.5 points in this one. The blowout potential is always there, so you could see less fourth quarter minutes. So Bane over his points and Barrett under his points is where I'm looking in this one.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Like I said, it's a tough game for him, but I have a sneaky feeling that the Grizzlies smack them up here, and the Knicks finally run out of some gas here. Obviously, the Grizzlies defense is one of the most grimiest, sticky type of defense. Deflections, playing hard, blocking. There won't be many easy baskets for the Knicks tonight. All that stuff with Julius Randle, he's probably not getting that tonight up against Steven Adams or Jaren Jackson Jr. You got John Morant living in the paint all night. Yeah, I can see a double-digit win by the Grizzlies here. If I had a free bet, I'd be looking at the Grizzlies. My guy Tuan in the chat, Gwen, sorry if I don't know how to pronounce your first name, man. No need for any apologies. I appreciate the $5 tip, my guys. Yeah, Grizzlies are nothing for me in that one. Let's go over here to the next game here, Andy. We got it's kind of cold outside where I'm at, man. I had to turn the heat on this morning. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm liking the heat here. Andy, I'll let you go though first before I get to talking about it. You like some of this game? Are we doing props or anything?
Got to wait on the Jimmy Butler news. If Jimmy Butler does not play, you're firing away on PJ Tucker over 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. When Butler isn't in, Tucker seems to do well. And they have this at 13.5. It's super, super low. He flew over this the last game that Butler didn't play. So as soon as I get word on Jimmy Butler, if he's out, I will take PJ Tucker over his PRA. And then my poor guy, Isaac Okoro, he's been an under machine on his points, rebounds, and assists. They keep lowering it, and they can't get it low enough. So he had that 122-point massive game, but right now his PRA is 13.5, and you can get that at -110. So look at Okoro under. I don't think he's going to do well against that interior defense in Miami.
Yeah, no, that's a good point there, man. Look here, I like the heat here, my guy Andy. I like to do that. I'll do that with the glass real quick. I think we might be on the heat today. Maybe guys, maybe we might be on the heat now. But double revenge spot here, Andy. Man, look, they lost already to the Cavs twice already this year with no Bam or Jimmy. Both of them, he better get his ass off in there. Jimmy, you better come on, man. You sat out last game and y'all got smacked up. What are we doing here? You get your ass back in there, man. The Cavs have smacked y'all up. Obviously, the line is all over the Heat. The last game between these two is +5.5. Now it opened up at -5.5. Line is all over them, man. But they lost 85-111 December 1st. Like I said, no Jimmy, no Bam in there when Jared Allen had 19 points, 11 rebounds. Then they lost 105-94. Both of those games had Rubio as well for the Cavs, man. So, and then last game, obviously, like I said, the Cavs were favored by 5.5. You have the Heat 4-0 ATS, last 4 following a double-digit loss at the house. 11-4 against the spread, last 15 versus the Cavs. 12-2 ATS, last 14 at home versus the Cavs. This will be the 4th straight home game for the Heat as well. So they're in their same arena, getting hot. This is a bounce back spot, Smack City spot. 5-1 ATS last 6 games. We're 5-0 before the last one. This is the first game of a road back-to-back as well for the Bulls. With the Cavs, right? Funky little spot. You go out on the road. No Jared Allen. I see the Heat smacking. He's got to turn the heat on tonight. Give me the Heat. I took it this morning. -5.5, -6. It didn't matter. -7, -7.5. Double-digit win by the Heat. I don't give a damn what the spread is, man. We're Smack City tonight. This one could get ugly. I see a 20-point win here, my guys.
Wow.
And Jimmy, I don't see why Jimmy would sit this one out. Cavs already owned you this year. You're off a bad loss at the house. They're winning this game by 20 fucking points. I'm sorry.
Love it.
Let's go. Heat, Smack City. The Heat's on right now. Let's go over here to the streets of New Orleans, man. We going to get some seafood real quick, or we buzzing with them Hornets? I can't bet this game. No CJ, no Brandon Ingram here. All right, the Pelicans on a 2-game losing streak. It's a tough game. I'm not taking the Hornets though, but I understand why everyone is taking them. You like some here, Andy?
Yeah, a real bummer. I enjoyed watching this Pelicans team with McCollum, and it was since February 1st. They were top 7 in offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. They were legit. And then to lose those two guys is just it's got to be really, really frustrating. So I was dancing around trying to figure out where I want to go with this one. And I think I'm going to lean under the Pelicans 111.5 team total. Without McCollum and without Ingram, I think it's just going to be too hard to score points. That being said, Valanciunas is going to get a lot of work. Charlotte, one of the top 3 worst teams defending center. So I think if you're going to look at points with Valanciunas, you could. Rebounds possibly. In the end, I think it's going to be too much uncertainty for this one. I'm going to pass ultimately just because there's so many games tonight, so many better spots. But strongest lean would be the under Pelicans team total.
Yeah, that's a good point there. The main thing about the Pelicans, they had CJ McCollum in there at the helm of things, like a new quarterback on the team, like a new Russell Wilson or something like that over there, man. So with him out, now you need Graham to step up again. Now he's back starting. He is going up against his old team, so maybe Graham has a little extra incentive, extra motivation. But it's a tough game. I'm not betting this game, guys. It's simple. I'd like at least CJ to be in there. I'd be on the Pelicans. Without him and BI, their 2 best players, I'm staying off of it. Let's go over here to the streets of San Antonio real quick. Andy, Pop is really close to getting the record here, Andy. When do you think it happens, Andy?
With the Spurs, I have no idea. You think it's tonight? So sneaky, Jay. All right. I see where you're going with this one. Well, this player prop, this fits in your mold. DeJounte Murray over his points, rebounds, and assists. Guy has been crushing the last 4 games. He's flown over this total. They got it at 38.5. I think that's a steal. He's just been amazing in the prop betting world. You know this. And the last couple games against Utah, San Antonio has played them close. They were only a couple possession games. So I think we're going to avoid the blowout spot tonight where, Murray could sit in the 4th. And they just, the Spurs don't have anybody else nearly as dynamic as DeJounte. Jazz, not great against guards. They're bottom 12 defending point guards and shooting guards. So this is a really good spot for Murray. He's played them well. He had a triple-double last time he played them. And he has had over 18 rebounds and assists his last 4 games. So he's getting it done in all categories. DeJounte Murray is over. I think that may help get the Spurs win tonight. What do you think, man?
Man, so bro, and nothing is guaranteed, and anything can happen, right? But like I feel like, all right, I'm not gonna say too much about the Jazz, right? But regardless, so their best player is out because their best player right now is Bogdanovich. I've been watching this team very closely. Bogdanovich is their main matchup nightmare because even Donovan Mitchell is super baller right now, but he could go off night. But anyway, without Bogdanovich, that's huge for them if you ask me. But let me just talk the shit out real quick. I think Popovich is getting a record tonight. You do get a revenge spot. They're 2-0 ATS versus the Jazz already this year. The Snyder is good friends with Greg Popovich. He used to coach for the little Austin, for the little G League team. That's when it was D League, whatever. But you get the Spurs here, 6-1 ATS last 7 games, following a double-digit loss at the house. You get the Jazz, they're 1-4 ATS last 5 games, 2-6 ATS last 8, 0-4 ATS against the spread last 4 games is a road fave, 1-4 ATS last 5 after a straight-up win, 0-4 against the spread last 4 road games, 9-23-1 against the spread last 33, and San Antonio. So they historically just look down to the Spurs, or maybe Pop just knows something about Snyder over there. But you get the first game of a back-to-back. Then the Jazz are back home for 4 straight home games, right? So this is just an uninspiring game. I think that's why they're resting Bogdanovich as well. Maybe Snyder wants to be there when Popovich breaks the record. So I don't know. I got a feeling about this shit. I just feel like Snyder's kind of letting Pop get one tonight, and he's going to be there while he makes history. They're in the playoffs a minute in, right? I don't know. I put a small play on Spurs plus the points, man. I didn't even take money line, but because they could still lose the game. But I do think it's going to be a close game here. But no, Bogdanovich is huge. They have to hit threes, though. That's the main thing versus the Jazz. You got to make jump shots because people be scared to go in versus Rudy Gobert. But if he gets 2 quick fouls, it's going to be a long night.
Absolutely.
If they're hitting. I made a small play on the Spurs. Nothing heavy for me today, but Spurs plus the 6. I put some on it. I do think that Spurs. What do you think about this, Andy? It's just me saying it with this Snyder and Pop shit.
Well, the Bogdanovich is massive as well. And this all just depends on the first and second quarter. If the Spurs keep it close, I think this spells doom for Utah, and I think they go down. For Utah, they got to get off to a fast start, and they cannot continue to get beat by these smaller lineups. The loss of Bogdanović really hurts because the Spurs already play small. Jakob Poeltl, he's no monster in the lane, but if they decide to go real small, it could eliminate Gobert, because Gobert is all of a sudden becomes a gigantic liability unless he's hitting every single shot and grabbing every single rebound. So San Antonio can cause them some problems tonight for sure. Plus the points is a great play.
Hey, I put some on it, man. D in the chat, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, I've been kind of gauging this Spurs thing all season. This isn't one of the worst teams, so I could see them getting it at a later time, but I'll take a stab at it, especially +6, where I think could be a close game, could come down to the last shot. I mean, if they lose the game close one, I'll still catch here. Appreciate you, D, in the chat, man, for that 10-hour tip. Sorry, guys. So I had a lot on those two games, on the Heat and Spurs. Those were my main two, Andy. We'll go right past this last one. Now, Suns versus Suns land. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix here, Andy. We got the Suns here laying 5 versus the Raptors. Line open up at 6. Now, you do get a revenge spot for the Raptors. They only lost by 4 at the house. They were +4.5 underdogs. And now when Chris Paul did have 15 points, 12 assists, no Scotty Barnes or Gary Trent Jr. in that game as well, Andy. They only lost by 4 with CP3. They need to get high. Van Fleet is back. Suns first game back off 3 games in 4 nights all on the road. I couldn't talk anyone out of the Raptors here +5, Andy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of good props in this one. My best bet for today is going to be, I see you.
I'm just saying. I can't tell anyone to take the Raptors, but I mean, I sprinkled on it. So, sorry.
You're good, man. You're good. Jay Crowder, over 10.5 points. This line is way too low. We lost on him the other night when he went 1 for 10 from 3-pointers, and the books come back and they lower his total down to 9.5. We play it over and he gets to 11 points. His last 2 games, he just shot the ball horribly from 3-pointers and from the field, yet he's still gotten over his point total. And this 10.5 point total is way too low. He's getting tons of shot attempts and he just needs a few of them to fall. I think the books have over adjusted for this. I believe he's gone over in 7 out of 8 games. And with Chris Paul not in the lineup, a couple guys are going to get extra points. And Jay Crowder has been one of them. I believe Crowder's like 2 for 17 from threes the last 2 games. That will not keep up. And even one of those games he was bad from threes, he still got over his point total. So 10.5 is too low. I'm taking Jay Crowder over his point total tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. Going down to 4.5, man, at DraftKings. So let's see what happens. Like I say, this wasn't heavy for me, but I don't know if you could tell, but I mean, I may have sprinkled a little bit on Toronto there, plus the 5. Like I say, it was at 6 this morning, but still, I think that the Raptors could keep this game close. If not, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them win this game straight up. They do need to streak. This team is better than what they were playing. Like they got Van Fleet back. I do think that they're due to go on a run. At the very least, keep this game close. They did it at the house and lost by 4 without 2 of their better players as well, Gary Trent Jr. and Scotty Barnes. So let's see what happens there. Just a sprinkle for me on Toronto, man. Let's go for your last game up, Andy. Let's get up out of here, man. Lakers. What are we doing this game, man? Lakers land 4 versus the Wizards. What are we doing? Kuzma props? Maybe some Kuzma's prop. Look, Kuzma and KCP 3s props. That's what I would like to look at, Andy.
Okay. I certainly wouldn't talk you off of those. I need more information on some of these starting lineups, but my man Porzingis is back.
I forgot about him.
He's getting minutes and he's getting points. He's settling in, and this Lakers interior is nothing short of awful. So I want to see what this Lakers lineup is, but depending on what I get there, I'm going to be leaning Porzingis over. I certainly wouldn't talk you off of your Kuzma plays and some of the others. Lakers, I will not have any of my hard-earned money on any Lakers player props or bets. I have worked too hard to obtain said income, and I'm not going to be wasting it on the Lakers. But yeah, look at Porzingis over points, rebounds, and assists as he gets settled into big-time minutes with Washington.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? I can't even lie to you. I I had Wizards written down as a lean because I forgot, like, Porzingis is back in there now. With him in there, the Wizards might be a little, I'm gonna just say a little something. I don't know. I'm not betting on the Lakers, man. They just lost an overtime game to the Rockets. LeBron played a lot of minutes in that one as well. So I mean, this is an old team coming. Now they should be pissed for coming off that loss to the Rockets, but the old guys played heavy minutes. Everybody's old over there, but I'm not betting this game. It's Wizards or nothing for me here. But I mean, hey, if the Lakers could be pissed, I don't know. It's a tough game for me, man. Wizards or nothing for me. No bet for me, man. I always want to say, guys, hey, I went 3-0 for you. Say if y'all can, I gotta promote myself, man. Go check me out. NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail for the shirts, man. I should be touching these shirts here pretty soon, my guys. They gonna be coming in like Monday or Tuesday. I'll be shipping them right out. Still got Smack Shitty shirts as well. Pre-sale. NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail. Now, Andy, let's get to some free picks, man. As always, this show is sponsored by Wager Talk. You can get, I'll do the promo. You don't get one play of Andy's plays for $25, $35, man. You can get a 3-day all access play. Whatever Andy has going, you can get 3 days all access. Use promo code J19, man. Whoever's on the show for that day, wagertalk.com or Sports Memo, all type of expert cappers, you get their all access plays. Use promo code J19. Andy, what you got going at Wager Talk and what you like on tonight's card, my guy?
Best bet play of the day is up already. I will probably have 1 to 2 more NBA plays that are up today. And then, of course, if you use a 3-day pass, you'll get our best bets over the weekend. So been doing really good in those. Best bet that I have tonight, it's a sneaky one. This one's out of left field, but I feel like I do really good on these. Cameron Payne under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So I'm looking at his last 3 games without Devin Booker, and he's got 36 PRA, 33 PRA, and 36 PRA. Devin Booker comes back, down to 25 PRA. And the Toronto Raptors, number 1 in the league at defending point guards. So last game, Booker had a really good game. So Booker's probably going to be getting the production from the perimeter tonight. Payne has got a tough matchup. And also Booker comes back, and it really, really ate into his production. A great spot to take the under on Cameron Payne tonight.
That's a solid, sharp look by you. No one's looking at that, and that's why you make money doing this, man. That's why you make money. Yeah, like I say, three plays for me, man. One top for me is the Heat. For me, I got the Heat on right now. I did take it earlier. It's up to -7, -7.5. I still like it. I think the Heat take these guys to Smack City. Wouldn't talk you off putting it in a money line parlay as well. Maybe some with the Hawks, maybe some with the Timmies. But another couple smaller plays for him, but I still like them. Spurs plus the points, man. I took them plus the 6. I wouldn't mind a little sprinkle on the money line. I do think that there's other nights that they could get it, but this, with the history of the coaches here and him kind of being the understudy of Pop, I sense some fishy shit with that Bogdanovich being out. Let's just put it that way. So with all of that being said, give me the Spurs here, plus the 6 at the house. A little sprinkle on it. He is the top player today. Spurs plus the 6. Personally, put a little something on Toronto plus the 5. I say you don't have to follow me on that. It's a small play, but I do think the Raptors get the job done tonight. Tough spot for the Suns. First game off of 3 games in 4 nights, all on the road, coming from a huge game in Miami, fly all the way back across the country. It's a little sleepy type of game for me. Don't be surprised to see the Toronto come to play here. Let's go, man. Let's cash. Appreciate Andy for coming on with me as always. Go check me out, man. The shirts, NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail. Email me right now. Go follow Andy on Twitter at Bump Sports. You can follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. Go check him out, Wage Talk as well. Let's cash again today, my guys. Going 3-0. One time for the one time.